Hi, good people. I hope you are well from where you are watching from. Welcome to Kate Ndongo Cafe. Today, we are going to talk about excelling in different areas. Our guest for today is a lecturer, an author, and also an MC. Karibu sana to Kate Ndongo Cafe.
Asante.
Tell us about yourself.
My name is Richard Bashira, and I'm a lecturer at Kabarak University. I'm an author of a book, The Chains of Unforgiveness, and also I am an MC and a motivational speaker. Thank you.
So, how did you know that you could do different things? Because now you're a lecturer, you're also an MC, you have also authored this book called The Chains of Unforgiveness. So, how did you know that you could do different things? And you are one person, you know. So, how did you discover
I get
that you
I
can
get-
do
I
these
get-
many things? Yes.
Now, life is so dynamic, and again, there are talents that are inborn, but again, they have to be developed. I discovered light from childhood that there were things that perhaps people were taking as negatives, but I decided to transform them and use them as positive in my life.
Mhm.
Discovering that there are so many of us young people, especially young people, that stop at the point where they have had a voice from a teacher in primary school or high school, a voice from a parent, a voice from an uncle who says, you cannot make it. And all those things, when happen, you summarize them and you believe, and you stuck there. I decided not to do that. And so one of the things that again happened is that, the career of every person cannot and may not be dictated by just one path. There are those what we call growth strategies. And perhaps as a result of myself trying, to go delve deeper and understand these growth strategies affecting me, that's how I have modeled each of these units together and integrated them. Yeah.
So, you are saying that we are not limited. We should
Yeah, we are
not
not
feel like
limited.
we can only do this one thing.
Oh yes, there are diversified skills that we can be able. And remember this, many of us, when we talk about a skill, we might talk about a skill, we talk about it, we go to college, we do all these things, but until and unless we monetize a skill and commercialize a skill, ensure that that skill can bring something on the table, then it remains to be just a name. Yep.
So you are a lecturer,
Yes, sir.
but you were a banker at one point.
Oh, yeah.
So why did you transition from being a banker to being a lecturer? Because na imagine, unajua huwa tunaona mtu mwenye anafanya kazi bank,
Okay.
tunaonanga now, okay, like now this is like the peak of their career or something.
Oh.
But not for you, ulitoka banking and you went to lecturing.
Okay.
So why did you shift? What were these reasons that made you to shift from from banker to lecturer?
Thank you, Kate. But perhaps I would love to share a bit of my story in the banking industry. It was one of the most enticing journey, though with its challenges. And one of the things that helped me so much is because I knew what I want. When you know what you want, despite the challenges, you'll be able to go over it. The reason why I wanted to be in the banking industry in the first place is because my purpose has always been to change lives, whichever way. And I'm brought up in a place whereby, I discovered as I was growing up, the gap between the rich and the poor was growing wider and wider. And we knew that the people who can be able to access credit facilities were some people, some families who are at a higher level. And therefore, when I got into the banking industry, or rather financial industry, one of my main goals was to help that young person access financial credit facility. That young lady, that young man access that financial credit facility to be able to transform. Every time I saw, this business person was started from a kibanda to a shop, general merchandise, to a supermarket, that one alone means a lot to me. Let me talk about what made me now to transit. There is what we call a pursuit for purpose. All of us have a purpose. The Bible says that when David finished his purpose, he went to rest. In other words, you're not supposed to rest if you have not done your purpose. Of course, we sing many songs and we talk about people when they are gone. And that is why, Myers Munro says that the greatest tragedy we can have is to have people who just go to the grave and they have not understood their purpose. So I prayed God to help me to understand my purpose. When I understood it, I got my passion. And in pursuit of that passion, that is how now I decided, number one, I need to impact a greater congregation, a young generation that is growing. And the only way you do that is to go back to my younger brothers and sisters who are back there in the university, because I love teaching area from the word go. So I had to go there. And again, there is the issue of, Kate, work-life balance. Banking industry is not simple. Neither is lecturing simple. But again, you want understand those family dynamics. Understand those family dynamics. And of course, as a person, I felt I needed a new challenge. I needed to move out from that 8 years, morning to evening, and go do something else. A new challenge is as important as self-discovery. Yep.
I think there's something that you have mentioned which is very important.
All right.
That when we want maybe to change from one career to another, it should be more of a purpose thing.
Yeah.
It should not be more of maybe how much money am I going to get from it and all that. It should be more of purpose driven.
Yeah.
It should be more of what impact am I bringing to the people.
Yeah.
And that means saa zingine unajua inaweza kuwa maybe tunaona maybe this area iko na more money as compared to this other one.
Yeah.
But I think one point I've gotten from you, it should be more of the transformation of lives that you can be able to do.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking at it this way. Unataka kutoka banking, you go to lecturing.
Yes.
And now you're leaving a job that you are doing every day.
Okay.
But you still need finances for your survival.
Okay.
So how are you able to manage that without now the banking job?
Okay. Now, transition takes a plan. A plan takes a strategy. Now, I did not just wake up one morning and moved out of the bank, because again, you don't bang the door as you leave, because you might need it later. And every institution have their own transitioning kind of arrangement, the procedures and policies. But within a period of 1 year, I was preparing to move out, to exit. And therefore, what I did is that number one, or rather what you do is that number one, you must prepare for an emergency fund. Okay. You need to save. I needed to save so that just in case I don't land into a job immediately, I'll be having at least 3 to 6 months savings for the basic expenses. And then number two, you must clear your debt. You cannot be not earning a salary and you are servicing some debt, because how will you be able to do that?
It will be hard.
So, and therefore, doing all those kind of planning, I needed a strategy. So, and therefore, my answer is that I did not just jump and move out. And then, of course, there is what we call bridging strategy. The bridge strategy means that the qualification of being a banker are not as the same as being a lecturer. And therefore, I needed to have some times to go back for upskilling, going back to the university and do an extra course so that I will be a qualified person to be a teacher. Yep.
So you had a plan, and also you had to add more skills.
Oh, yeah.
So now you are a lecturer.
Yes, I am.
So what would you say makes an effective lecturer?
Wow. An effective lecturer, that is a big one. An effective lecturer, number one, is that you must understand you're dealing with people, and therefore relationship. Relationship with boundaries, because you're dealing with young people. You need to respect them. You need to know that they are the people who actually pay you. There is the students who pays the lecturer. Gone are the days when lecturers used to just come and give some hints and disappear. When we were in school, that is what used to happen. But in today's generation, we are dealing with Gen Zs. We are dealing with very serious young people who even will go before you. You need to be somebody who is ready to learn every day. New skills, AI is coming up, and all the other machine learning. blockchain technology, all these, you must be in learning every day. You must be in learning every day. And therefore, you need to understand your targets. What are you supposed to deliver? What are your deliverables? Are there milestone? Because there is every end of the semester, whether it's summative or formative exams. Therefore, you must be ready to be able to understand how you get to understand your targets and how you're planning to meet them. Yep.
So you deal with young people.
Yes, I do.
So, and we know that we have this problem of unemployment.
It's a big
Maybe
problem.
after the 2 years or the 3 or 4 years or 5 years,
Okay.
sometimes when a person clears school,
Okay.
unakuta mtu ako huko nje na maybe they have not managed to get employment.
Yeah, definitely.
What would you tell the young people to do? Maybe now, to be able to get some form of income, source of income after kumaliza shule.
Young people listening to me, I have this one. I know governments will come and go. They promise jobs, millions of jobs. These jobs are there. But again, the whole aspect of becoming a graduate, so that you become a graduate now, is that you need to understand university education is just meant to expose you. University education is not meant to give you a job. It's to expose you to the diversity I talked about, to the dynamics I talked about. Currently, there is a lot of work through the internet. There is freelancing. There is forex trade. There is a lot. People, still young people, can learn and to earn a coin in the in the industry. And therefore, my message to the young people is that when they get to the university, they need to be creative. They need to be innovative and get to understand that every skill that I'm learning, how do I monetize and commercialize that skill after I graduate? That's all.
That's all. That is his message to the young guys. Kama mtu amemaliza shule, we are looking at now how can we be able to get some form of income in as much as mtu amegraduate. Now let us talk about you being an MC.
All right.
So what kind of functions do you offer your services?
My journey started down in the village when I would, volunteer myself in those small meetings, in the funerals, in church services, and it has grown over the years. Currently, I do corporate MC. I do, both, the weddings, the same, the family gatherings, all those kind of meetings, regardless of the number of the congregants. I will still come and MC. Even if you want me to come and be your MC alone, I still come. Yeah.
So wewe hauna mambo ya ati crowd ni kidogo ama watu ni wengi.
Yeah.
You are okay.
I just need to know what is the expectation. What is the function? What is the expectation? Just that. Yeah.
So guys, I've attended functions where he has been an MC, and I can tell you this, he's the best MC that you can have at your function. Sasa kama unapanga rurashio, ama unapanga harusi,
exactly.
Ama you have a function, maybe you have any function, any function, vile amesema, he is the best MC you can have. Yeah. Because nishai attend functions I'm a MC, and he's the best MC you can have at your function. So you are a lecturer.
Yes, I am.
Would you advise someone to be a lecturer like you?
Yes, no, depending on their ambitions.
Okay.
But again, what I can say, teaching, let me call it teaching. Teaching is this kind of job that you must do it with minimal or no supervision. If somebody must work under supervision, then this is not the right job for you. But if you can work with no supervision at all, just understanding your targets, then it is possible to do this. Again, there are advantages, or there are those reasons that make people to feel that they want to be, lecturers on that. There is what we call academic or intellectual fulfillment. There is that lifelong feeling that, you're learning all through. But again, remember, Kate, every job or every kind of employment has its own challenges.
Yeah.
Some of the challenges you get is, of course, you must, when you got employed, you were not told that you'll be handling administrative burdens, but there are so many administrative burdens. There are meetings. The workload sometimes is quite enormous. Yeah, it's quite enormous, and therefore there are gonna be sometimes emotional and mental stress will be there. But again, where can you go where there is no such stress? That is why my answer was yes and no.
Mm.
Thank you.
Ah,
All
okay.
right. Yeah.
So we have talked about you being a lecturer and also an MC.
Okay.
So for someone who'd like you to offer them your services,
Okay.
how can they reach you?
Viewers, I can be reached through my mobile phone number 0722 55 1595. 0722 55 15 95. Or you can reach me through the social media platforms, through my YouTube at Building Mindset Solution, and also through my TikTok page at Building Mindset Solution.
So what would you tell our viewers as we conclude?
Viewers, I would say, just like I started, that life is so dynamic and there are so many emerging issues coming up, and there are so many, both the young and the middle-aged persons, who are tied by issues of life. They see it and say, I have a talent, but they don't believe in themselves. What I can say is that take the first step. Just move out, take the first step, speak it out. Don't die alone. Speak it out, take the first step, move out. And remember this, in my book, The Chains of Unforgiveness, I have quoted, and I have said this, that one of the things that is, again, Kate, killing so many marriages, even congregants in churches, is unforgiveness. So my viewers, release it. Release it to God. Talk to that person. If you cannot be able to do that, pray. But loosen it, and you'll be free. That is the message I have. Yes.
Wow, what a way to conclude. He has said, believe in yourself, believe in who God has created you to be, and take the first step.
Yep.
He has talked about his book. It is called The Chains of Unforgiveness. We are going to talk about this book another time. Yes, we are going to look at how we can be able to forgive those who have wronged us, and even how we can be able to forgive ourselves. So thank you so much, Mr. Richard, for coming.
You're welcome.
And thank you for giving us information about yourself.
Thank you.
So that is it, guys. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.